Hello students, how are you all? Hope you all are fine. So this will be the final revision class of chapter gravitation, and after completing, if you still have any doubt, your doubts are welcome, and let's start. Weight of a object in moon. We know that weight is the amount of gravitational force acting on a body. So weight of a body will be equal to gravitational constant g into capital M into small m by r square. So if we are measuring the weight on earth, so weight on earth will be equal to gravitational constant g into mass of earth into mass of the object by radius of earth square. Similarly, if we are measuring weight on moon, so weight on moon will be equal to gravitational constant into mass of moon into mass of the object by radius of moon square. Now if we try to find out the relationship between them and we divide weight of moon by weight of earth, we will get a value of 1 by 6. See, while trying to find out this relationship, we have to put the value of mass of earth, radius of earth, mass of moon, radius of moon, and all other terms will get cancelled out each other, and after doing the calculation, the value we will be getting will be equal to 1 by 6. What does it mean? It just means that weight of moon by weight of earth will be equal to 1 by 6. So let us understand by taking an example. See, a object whose weight is 6 kg on earth, his weight will be equal to 1 kg on moon, and an object whose weight is 1 kg on earth, his weight will be 6 kg on moon. What does it mean? It just means that a object whose weight is 1 kg, his weight will be 6 times more if we measure the weight on earth, and a object whose weight is 6 kg, if we measure his weight on moon, his weight will be 1 kg. Means in short, we can say that weight on earth will be 6 times more to that of weight of moon, right? So if somewhere question comes, if weight of moon is given and weight of earth is asked, it is obvious that weight on earth will be more. So what we have to do, we have to multiply 6 there, and if we get the question where it have given the weight on earth and it have asked us to find out weight on moon, so we have to divide it by 6. Do you have any idea why camel run faster in desert? Why camel can run? Why army tank which weigh thousands of tons rest upon a continuous chain? Why trucks and motor buses have wider tires? Why our cutting tools are made sharp edges? So in order to know all this, we need to understand the phenomena that are there. What are those phenomena? Those phenomena are thrust and pressure. So what is the difference between this thrust and pressure? Let us understand it by taking an example. Thrust is the force acting on a particular direction, whereas pressure is the force acting per unit area. So if we take an example of two cases, in first cases you are standing on a surface, and on the second cases you are sleeping. So in both the cases, your weight which acts perfectly downward will be same whether you sleep or you stand. So it just means that thrust in both the cases will be same, because thrust gives us the idea about the force acting in particular direction, right? But is the pressure same in both the cases? No. Pressure depends upon the area of contact. So if the area of contact is more, pressure will be less, or we can say that pressure is equal to force acting per unit area. So when we sleep, our more area is contact with the soil or with the things on which we sleep. So in that case, our pressure will be less, and if we stand, less area of contact will be there with the ground. So in that case, pressure will be more. So we can say that pressure is inversely proportional to area. Let us understand thrust and pressure by taking another one example. So here we can see that two blocks of woods are there whose dimensions are same, 40 into 20 into 10. Here also 40 into 20 into 10. Right, we know that thrust is equal to the force acting in one direction, whereas pressure is equal to force acting per unit area. Right. So here let us see first their thrust. Now we know that if their dimension is same and they both are same quality of wood, so it just means that their thrust or their weight which acts perfectly downwards will be same, right? So here if we keep it light down or if we keep it upright like this, in both the cases their weight will be same which acts perfectly downward. So here force acting downward is same in both the cases, or we can say that thrust is same in both the cases. Now let us see whether what is happening to the pressure in both the cases, right? We know that pressure is equal to thrust per unit area or force acting per unit area. So here force acting per unit area is different to that of this. How? Here area of contact will be 40 into 10 400 centimeter square, whereas here the area of contact will be 20 into 10 200 centimeter square. That's why here the area of contact is more and here the area of contact is less, and area of contact is inversely proportional to pressure. So here the pressure will be less and here the pressure will be more. Pressure in fluids. All liquids and gases are called fluids, and we know that solid exerts pressure on a surface due to its weight. Similarly, liquid also have weight, so they will be having pressure because of their weight. Now, and liquid have another one property, that is, if this container would not have been there, it would have spread, right? So it would have spread. Similarly, it will also put pressure on the wall of the container, right? Liquid or fluid also place pressure on the wall of the container, right? It just not put pressure because of its weight, it also put pressure on the wall of the container on which it is contained. Buoyancy is the upward force exerted by the fluid, or it can be termed as upthrust also. It just says that how much upthrust or how much upward force a body will be experiencing when it is placed on the fluid, right? And by knowing the concept of buoyant force or knowing the concept of upthrust, we can explain why we used to feel lighter when we swim, or why a bucket of water feels heavier when we take it out of water, right? The magnitude of buoyant force depends upon the density of fluid. Why does an object float or sink when it is placed on the surface of water? Right, it is because of the difference in the density. Now let us understand it by taking an example of a cork and a iron nail, right? It is obvious that iron nail will get sink whereas the cork will float, right? Why the iron nail will sink? The iron nail will sink because the density of iron nail is more than that of the density of water, whereas the cork will float because its density will be less than that of water. Now Archimedes principle. Archimedes principle states that when a body is fully or partially immersed in water, the amount of buoyant force a body will experience will be equal to the weight of the fluid displaced by it. And this Archimedes principle is very much helpful, or it is the best principle to understand many of the things in our life. Those are the cases like using of lactometer to determine the purity of milk, using of hydrometer to determine the density of a liquid, etc. Density is one of the characteristic properties of a substance. The density of a given substance under specified conditions remains the same. That's why it is one of the characteristics property. Let us understand what is relative density. So relative density is the ratio of density of a substance to that of density of water. As this is a relative quantity, so it will be having no unit, or it will be called as unitless.